I beg people, I beg corporations, I beg everybody.
And to everyone out there who thought I was just trying to scam people, look at these screen caps and shove them up your ass. Have a good one.
So some of you may have noticed, because I posted a update on Facebook, I took down the Patreon account. And many of you are going to wonder why. Some of you think I was trying to sweep it under the rug, which is another reason why I wanted to make this video, because no. Here, this video is staying up and people will know that I had a Patreon campaign posted temporarily. I already in a day got about 141 bucks, you know, 30 times 100. If I had it up for a month, more than likely I would have at least gotten close, if maybe not a little over what the goal of the campaign was, which was 3,000. Many people, first and foremost, were saying that I was doing it to be greedy. No. Basically, that once I hit that goal, I would have gotten rid of my third-party sponsors. So it wasn't that I was just looking to get extra money, that it wasn't me looking for just extra bucks to get extra toys and all that crap. Whether it be trolls or whether it be people that really feel that you shouldn't make a dime off of creating videos for online websites, whether it be YouTube or whatever, I don't get it. So I'm going to end my video with this statement to all the people out there who constantly keep telling me to get a real job. I don't need a quote-unquote real job because my bills are being paid just fine. The whole point of the Patreon account, again, was to get rid of third-party advertisers. It wasn't that I was strapped for cash. And secondly, why are you so concerned about how I make my living? Am I selling crack? Am I doing a sex trafficking ring of underage girls? No. I do a YouTube commentary channel where I comment on news and talk about my opinions and have a fucking blast doing it. And if that pisses you off, that either means one of two things. You're delusional or you're jealous. And if you are jealous, you need to get out of the house more. And the reason why you're probably not happy with your life and jealous with what I'm doing is because you're sitting behind the computer hating on someone else instead of applying yourself to actually do something with your life. Yes, my job is not physically demanding, and yes, I'm not doing something like construction or working for the post office. But if you think it's easy, by all means, start up a YouTube channel, put years of work in, and hope, because it's not guaranteed, that enough people will watch that you can make a living off of it. Doesn't sound that easy, does it? Because it isn't. Now shut the fuck up and sit in a corner. Have a good one.
If you're a YouTuber and you're making like at least $10,000 a month, and you have a Patreon, I find that scummy. I do. Like, why would you ask your fans for money when you could give money back to your fans? I mean, you're the one that's blessed. And to clarify, like, I know some people are like trying to raise money to do like bigger projects. I guess, like, I understand that. And I understand streaming, like you're doing a live show. If people want to tip you, that's fine.
Before everyone freaks out, I have no ill will against Keemstar. This isn't going to turn into some stupid thing. I guess I'm just pissed off and tired of like the double standard everyone has on the internet. Keemstar, I don't dislike you. I have no beef with you, but I disagree with you. We have a different standpoint on this, and I just do think it's hypocritical that you take donations on when you stream. There's no difference between getting donations in a stream or on a Patreon, period.
Rich, I mean, 2 hours ago I said that, live streaming is different than YouTube, all right? I'm talking about YouTubers that make $10,000 a month and then have a Patreon for their YouTube, all right? It's not the same as a live stream. YouTube and live streaming is completely different, all right? Most of the money on YouTube comes from ads, right? On streaming, most of the income that comes in to support that entertainment is from donations. They are not the same thing, and I clearly said that 2 hours ago, and now you're saying I'm being hypocritical. It's just stupid.
No, Keemstar, I'm not stupid. I saw this. So you're doing the internet logic thing again. So you get tips, which I've seen you get some pretty good ones, on your stream. That's different than having a Patreon account. Last time I checked, money's green all around. And last time I checked, that's still getting donations, quote unquote, from people that follow you. So there is no difference. I'm not stupid. You're still getting money from people that follow you. So yeah, it still falls into hypocrite.
I think Patreons are stupid for YouTubers that make a ton of money. All right, if you're making a ton of money and then you have a Patreon on top of it, I mean, you're really just milking this fucking thing for everything you could possibly get, And if you think I'm hypocritical because I have a donate button on my stream, you can suck my fucking dick, all right? Because I feel blessed that I make this much money. I feel blessed that I get to do this for a living. And that's why I've given out over $30,000 of stuff to my fans this year. So fuck off.
So wait. Hold on one second. Now, Keemstar just had a video up where he was saying that people who have Patreons who make so-and-so amount of money are scumbags. But Keemstar, who is pretty much a self-proclaimed millionaire, who I know makes way more than $10,000 a month, on his StreamMe page, as soon as you click on it, he has this. Only on the internet can you accuse someone for doing something, but be a hypocrite and do it yourself. God bless. I still, on a somewhat regular basis, get people saying, hey, Rich, I want to donate to the show, help you out, blah, 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 blah. So I put up a tally or whatever it is on Twitter. I put up a survey to see if people wanted to donate or not. Then from there I said, how is someone wanting to give money towards something they like, and a homeless person shaking a cup in the street is the same thing, and so on and so forth. And it went back and forth between that. Then finally later on, Keemstar did come out and say, hey, Rich, it wasn't directed towards you, and I did apologize. Then admittedly I took it back because something pinged in my brain, and I remember Keemstar is on stream.me. I've seen him get donations on there, and I know that he has some kind of sponsorship through them. So what is the difference? He's calling people who have Patreons who make decent money on YouTube scumbags, and it's kind of the same thing that he's doing.
I made a tweet where I basically said, I think it's kind of scummy that YouTubers that are making at least $10,000 a month, on YouTube have Patreons for their YouTube, all right? I'm not talking about live streaming. Live streaming is something completely different, okay? And I said I'm not talking about, YouTubers that have a Patreon for, like, a bigger project, all right? So Rich starts responding to me, okay? And I'm responding back to him. I have no idea that he tweeted about him having a Patreon. I had no idea. So after he apologizes to me, 2 hours go by, right? And he comes out and he says, got him, right? He's like, look at Keemstar, I take my apology back. Well, first of all, you apologized because you thought I was talking about you, okay? That's why you apologized, all right? But then you took my apology back because you found that I have a donate button on my stream. That doesn't make any sense, all right? So at this point, I call Rich out. I go, okay, I know what's going on here, all right? Rich is going to be creating a Patreon,
and he wants to talk about this issue, and he wants to make a video about this issue so he doesn't have to beg, right? Because when Rich put out this poll, because I looked at it after he thought that I was talking about him, right? When Rich put out this poll, there was a bunch of people talking shit to Rich. They were like, fuck you, get a job, like all this other stuff. That poll, 55% of the people told him not to have a Patreon. Only 45% supported it, right? So Rich is thinking in his mind, all right, well, let me make this a thing. Let me use this controversy so I don't have to, hey, this is, I know exactly what you were fucking doing, Rich. You're a manipulator, you're a liar, and that's exactly where you were going with this. Because this should have been dropped as soon as you knew I wasn't talking about you, but somehow 2 hours later you're like, oh, I'm going back in there and expose him to be a hypocrite. When one of the first things I said on this topic was, I'm not talking about streamers. I'm going to block you if you talk about this one more time. But like, obviously you're trying to make a video out of this. That's exactly what I said to him. And he tweets back at me. All right?
I wasn't in the beginning.
He tweets back at me, I'm not going to be making a video about this. Now, we all know what happened, right? Rich made a fucking video, all right? He made a video calling me a hypocrite when he tells me that he's not trying to make a video, but then makes a fucking video. What the fuck? What are we dealing with here? So he made it seem like streaming is the same thing as fucking YouTube. But it's not. It just isn't. It's not the same platform. It's not the same style of videos. It's not the same thing. These are different things.
Well, I didn't use it as an excuse because I had that survey up before I saw Keem's tweet that he had. The thing that was interesting, though, is that when Keemstar had a video, when he puts up those like 20-second or 30-second videos on Twitter, and he goes, Rich, I think you're stupid. And under that, in the video, he said, on streams, virtually all the money only comes from donations. But that's where the caveat comes in, is that Keemstar has some kind of deal with Stream.me, and he's still getting donations.
Yeah.
So that's the same thing, just in a different website, as if you have a Patreon and you have a YouTube. What is the difference between, and the thing is, Keemstar, I don't care if like 10 people here right now go, you know what, you could buy a small fucking island, but I'm still going to empty out my bank accounts and give them to you. That's not the point. I don't care about that. But what you're doing here is the same exact thing as if a quote-unquote successful YouTuber who makes 10 grand a month and has a Patreon, because you're making money from Stream.me before the donate button, and you're getting donations. It's really simple. It's just...
When you do a live show, you're doing a live show for a certain amount of people, all right? If I thought that streaming was the same as YouTube and a Patreon, I would have said it. No, I clarified my point at the very beginning before you even responded to me that I don't think that streaming is the same thing as YouTube. All right, if people want to do streams and have donate buttons, I don't have a problem with it. That was my opinion that I voiced from the beginning, okay? And 2 hours later, after I make this statement, all right, Rich comes out and calls me a hypocrite, okay? It doesn't make sense.
Because it's true.
Also, on top of that, Rich, you manipulated this whole situation to promote your Patreon. And honestly, Rich,
stop.
if you were going through financial problems, you could have DM'd me and said, Keem, give me some
money.
Yo,
that's not the point.
He could have reached out to me. If he's
not the point.
Stay on
topic.
Stay on
topic. Stay on topic.
I'm going to stay on
topic.
Like,
personal insults are not staying on topic.
Rich, if you are going through money problems, you could have reached out to me and I would have helped you like I've helped so many other people.
Dude, come on.
You could have DM'd me and said, look, I'm
going
through financial problems
I don't need your money.
I would have helped him. I would have helped him.
Need your money.
No one doubts your altruism.
He tried to make this a thing. Rich wanted to make this a thing so we could talk about his Patreon. And we're here right now talking about his Patreon. You saw an opportunity for a debate, and you pounced on it, right? You started tweeting at me. Then I respond to you, and I say, look, man, I'm not even talking about you. And then you have this. Then 2 hours later, you're like, got him, fucking hypocrite. He's got a donate button. What, Rich? I thought we already settled this. Why are you coming back, right? And I tell you, hey, look, I know what you're doing. I tell you, Rich, I know what you're doing. You're going to try to make a video on this because I already knew what was going on. I already knew that you wanted this to be a thing. You want to talk about your Patreon without having to beg. And if you can create some controversy here and you can upload a video saying, oh, Keemstar's a hypocrite, then you can promote your Patreon without begging.
How could I have even, if anything, this quote-unquote drama surrounding this And if I opened up a Patreon now, would fucking destroy it. It would fucking destroy it. It would not make people donate to me. Trust me. If there's anyone from my subs watching right now, they could vouch for me that I would get my ass metaphorically pounded, and not in a good financial way from this. It would have the exact opposite effect. As a matter of fact, before I got into the Twitter spat with you, there was more thumbs up on me starting a Patreon than thumbs down. As soon as I started going at it with you, it went to there was more no's than yes. So it wouldn't have worked in my favor.
I seen it the minute you tweeted at me. I went to look to see what you were talking about, and it was 55 to 45. Not in favor of you doing a Patreon.
No, it wasn't.
That's
It was,
just
there
not
was
true.
more yeses than no's. Yes, there was.
That's not true, Rich.
Okay, it wasn't true.
We're talking about a fucking liar, a manipulator, a fucking hypocrite.
I'm not. Because it was a clip proving the fact that he gets paid from Stream.me before he even gets donation.
Rich, look, you said just a little while ago that you're not going to be making a Patreon.
Yeah.
Are you 100% you're not going to be making a Patreon?
Pretty much, yes.
All right. Well, there it is. He's not making a Patreon.
What does that have to do with anything?
No, because I know that you brought this up to basically promote a Patreon, but now that I put you in that corner, you said that you're not going to make one, so I win. Like, I'm happy. But all I know is that you manipulated this situation to promote your Patreon, and now that you're backed in a corner,
But no, I'm not backed in a corner.
You have publicly stated that you are not making a Patreon.
It would have not helped it. It wouldn't have. They're not like they're.
Yeah,
they're,
right.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
right.
see, that's speculation though. You can't say that you're right. And you know what I mean? Like,
Hey, man, you speculated that I was talking about you. Listen, Eddie, when me and him were debating about this on Twitter, all right, I knew exactly what he was doing. I tweeted at him, and I said, obviously, you are going to try to make a video on this. Because I knew where he was going with this. I knew why he wasn't dropping it. I knew why he kept bringing it
and I
back
wasn't
up.
going to make a video until you blocked me. That's an opinion. If you're getting paid from Stream.me and you're getting donations, I don't care if you're buying a yacht for kids in a third world country. You're still doing the same thing that someone with a donate button or a Patreon account is doing on YouTube.
This is what I said to you, all right, once I realized what the fuck you were doing. Once I realized you were manipulating the situation to promote a Patreon and you were trying to make a video out of this, this is what I said to you.
I swear to God, I wasn't.
That's
God
conjecture,
God strike me dead
This
if
is what
I
I
did
said
this
to
to
you.
promote
I go,
my Patreon.
this is
okay.
2 hours after I explained my point in full. So then he responds by saying, I'm not taking offense. I'm just stating my opinion as well. So I respond to him. I respond to him by saying this: that's not true. You were clearly offended and are clearly still trying to talk about this and will likely make a video on it. And then, Rich, didn't you respond by saying, there's no way I'm going to make a video on this?
Yeah, and then I put up, it's time to stop from Filthy Frank. And then like 10 seconds after that, I was blocked. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. Why is he blocking me? So yeah, it pissed me off and I made a video, to be honest with you.
Well, listen, guys, I knew from the beginning that this is what Rich was doing. He was trying to create a thing out of this, right? He was being passive-aggressive and said, hey, guys, you know, I don't want this to turn into a thing.
Stop trying to be Alex Jones. He doesn't have a beard. You don't know that. And I wasn't. I'm not that smart. I wasn't trying to manipulate it. If anything, it would have...
He was. No. So, you know, I knew what he was doing. I knew that he was trying to create this into a thing so he could promote his Patreon.
But that's not true, because that thing would have done nothing but fuck me in the ass.
How?
It wouldn't have helped me. Because I know my subscribers. They would have turned on me. Maybe that doesn't say too much about how much people feel about me, but they would have fucking turned on me. And that the Patreon would have been a disaster. It would have not... Well, this whole thing would have not helped the Patreon. It wouldn't have.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, it would have.
No, it wouldn't have.
Oh, he's not going to make a Patreon. Just like he said he wasn't going to make a video. Just like he apologized to me and took it back.
God,
look.
If I made a Patreon now.
In this situation alone, all right, there are 3 things that fucking Rich did that contradicts his first action, okay? And we're going to talk about them right now, okay? 1, he tells me he's not going to make a YouTube video about this, and does. He apologizes to me once he realizes that I'm not talking about him. Then 2 hours later, without being any conversation between me and him, he takes his apology back and uploads a video calling me a hypocrite. Okay? The third one, he uploads a video, and in the video he says, I'm not going to show any footage of Keemstar. And again, this is the evidence where I define that streaming and YouTube is different from my opinion. All right? He says he's not going to show any footage because he might get flagged, but then later in the video shows footage of me from my stream. All right? Those are 3 examples within this situation where this dude has been a complete hypocrite. All right? A complete hypocrite. All right? I don't trust him. I don't trust him. I think that he's a manipulator. I think he's a liar.
Okay.
Dude, you're taking this and making it into something much bigger than what
you made a fucking video.
Hold on. No,
hey, man, I'm not yelling.
Chill. Yeah, chill. First of all, can we get a 420 in the chat for that excellent British accent from Keem? I thought he did a very good example of me.
Did he just say that I'm making this bigger than it has to be? I fucking solved this with you. You apologized to me. I told you this wasn't about you, and that was the end of it.
It doesn't matter if it was about me or not. What bothered me, what pissed me off is that you're...
Just accuse me of making this bigger than it has to be. Just accuse me of making it bigger than it has to be. Rich, this was solved. This was done and over 2 hours ago, or 2 hours after this was solved and done and over with. You brought it back up
because it wasn't about who you were directing it towards. It was the fact you have a double standard towards it. That's what bothered me.
Then, Rich, I responded to you and saying, look, I know what you're doing. I'm going to block you because obviously you're trying to make a video about this. And then you make a fucking video about it. All right? So the reason why this got fucking big is because of you. To a point where I have to defend myself and give you even more attention by doing this live event, which you said, hey, I have no problem. I'm going to show up to.
Think about it from my perspective. I posted that poll, and literally, I don't even think it was 10 minutes after you typed that tweet. If the shoe was on the other foot, I guarantee you would have thought the same thing.
Rich, how could I be talking about you? You don't make 10 grand a month. You don't make $10,000 a month.
Okay, I don't. Okay.
Do you? Because you get 5 million views a month. I just looked up on Social Blade.
Yeah, so, this month because I barely posted, dude. I make all right. I'm not going into how much I make.
Do you make $10,000 a month? Yes or no? Because I don't think you do. I don't think you have.
Yes, I have. Yes,
right, well, I disagree. I don't think that's an honest
statement. I mean, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not allowed to tell you. But all I'm saying is that you called out YouTubers who are having Patreons or donate buttons, whatever the case may be, for being, if they're making a certain amount of money, that it's scummy. And you said, just say. Okay, you have a stream.
Change my fucking words again. I can't deal with this, Eddie.
Now I'm saying donate Patreon. Am I saying Patreon. Who gives a shit?
How many times are you gonna change what I have to say to fit your look? You manipulated the situation. You lied 3 times. We've already went over this 100 times. And you know what? Now I've backed you in a corner, and you're not making a Patreon. So I'll take it as a win.
Dude, don't
Anyone
even try.
else can say whatever the fuck they want. I'll take it as a win.
Yeah, of course you're going to take it as a win. You're like making these things and putting them in there to make it as a win. The bottom line is
this: win. You're not making a Patreon.
Hold on, no.
You're not making. I'm not making a Patreon because of you. I wasn't making a Patreon before this. So calm down.
He said that he wasn't going to make a Patreon because of this situation earlier in this debate, and now he's saying that he wasn't going to do one from the beginning. I mean, you just lied again. God damn it.
You're trying to make it that I'm lying about things.
Next time you have money problems, don't use me. Don't manipulate me for your own agenda. You can just DM me. And
dude, stop with the money problems. You don't know. I don't have a financial situation. That's just like a situation. Dude, that's a low. That's an immature, low blow thing to say.
I would have helped him. How's that immature? How's it low? I would have helped you.
Because you're trying to make it seem like I'm broke,
Eddie,
bro.
am I a generous person?
You're trying to make it seem like I'm broke, bro. And that has nothing to do with.
Guys, for the next hour, all donations will go to Rich.
Wow.
All right, guys, thanks.
Rich, if you're having money problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but views ain't one. Hit me.
I beg people, I beg corporations, I beg everybody. The only tier I have is 1, and it's $1 a month. My content is worthwhile enough to support me on Patreon, and it'll definitely help.
And this fat cheeseburger eating greasy motherfucker, Rich.
Give $1 a month so I cannot fear talking about things like that
and I can become the old ReviewTechUSA again, where I don't have to worry about what words come out of my mouth.
To begin with, so the patrons essentially are panhandling, Rich, just like fucking people like myself say they are.
My content is worth supporting, and it's phenomenal. I was very transparent in my Patreon video. It's not that I'm not making money on YouTube. My Patreon, my ReviewTechUSA Patreon, is now at $872 a month.
Hope it doesn't upset you. Hope you don't fucking die of a stroke or have a fucking heart attack, you fat fuck.
But for that one tier, I'm only asking for $1 a month. So for $12 a year, you could help my channel.
If you love what you do, the money will eventually come, but it's all about the money. But it's all about the money. But it's all about the money.